We are live. Chris is logging on as we speak. Let's see if we get some viewers going on here. $30 viewers online. Hold tight, everybody. We're a couple minutes early. I love that you all are getting online. Awesome. Hold tight. Everyone say a prayer that there are no technical whammies. Well, I got the official text from Stephanie that y'all can see me. Hold on. We are getting Chris online. All right, 59 viewers. This is kind of exciting. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. All right. Turn my audio notifications off. Would love to. Hold on a second. No sound. All right. I think I just got the dings off. Okay, 87 viewers and counting. We're rolling. We are 7 o'clock on the nose, waiting for Chris to join us. Meanwhile, welcome to our team call. My name is Joy Bowen, and I am a 6-star, 1-star, 2016 elite, or no, 2017. I don't know what all the stuff is. 2017 elite coach and proud co-founder of Team Rising Phoenix, which is a subsidiary group of our huge rock star team. Oh my gosh, we already have 100 people, 105. Did you guys do Shift Shop today? I hope you guys did the sneak peek and loved it. Okay. Chris!
What's up?
Yes! You have no idea how I've been praying to the technology, like, you know, atmosphere, praying that this would all work as it should. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. What's going on?
It's just a normal day for me. What about you?
It's just a normal day for me, too.
Oh my gosh, it's been awesome today.
Yeah, it's been a little nuts. Had a photo shoot today.
You did?
Yeah, it was, oh.
Was it fun?
Yeah, I mean, I just had a lot of stuff to do today. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to turn that off and take pictures and turn it back on. And yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm sure everyone in the world was sending you messages about the preview workout. And
I lost control. Yeah, I was for a minute. I was like, I was in rhythm, and I lost control. When that photo shoot happened, it was just like, I can't do this. I just can't. I lost all stamina. I lost it all. Like, all right, like I can't find stuff. It's just, yeah. And I had Beachbody's Instagram today, and it just was, yeah. So mine, theirs, my Facebook is just a whole lot of everything.
Well, so. We obviously did not predict that the sneak peek would happen at this time slot, and so I'm so grateful. Like, you have a gazillion messages to return, and you're hopping on our call. I just can't even believe it. But we got like 151 viewers and climbing, and so people are just logging on. So I'm so excited, you guys. I know that everyone who's logging on got to check out the sneak peek today, and you guys got to experience just a sliver of what myself and Andrew and Stephanie and Amber and Melissa have all been experiencing for the past 6 weeks, which has just been life-changing. So I want to like respect Chris's time. Chris, oh my gosh, you like need no introduction, but you are Beachbody's newest super trainer, and you know, just the passion and brains behind Shift Shop. I know, you know, you were so gracious in Punta Cana to say that you are co-creator of this program, and I've just been blown away. Like, my life has absolutely been changed over the last 6 weeks, and you have been so gracious to our test group. So I want you to share your story. Can you kick us off tonight by just sharing like the story? Because I know everyone on the call, they don't have the benefit of knowing all about you like we do.
The whole story?
Well, whatever you want to share, buddy.
Yeah, so basically what happened was prior to I just trained athletes back here in my gym at home. I have 2 gyms here. I trained athletes. I had a YouTube channel that was growing, and I think I got to like 3 million views at a time, and I think the training was in like 215 countries. So I was kind of rolling from that, and I was starting to get endorsement talks from different companies, and so, which is what I really wanted. You know, one of my dreams was to be with Nike or something like that as a trainer, and so everything was going great. And then I got in trouble. I got a felony drug possession charge over a situation that I didn't do. And so what happened was there was a gentleman who had some drugs, some marijuana shipped to an address. And this particular address was it was in a duplex. Walk into the duplex, you go to the left. The left of the duplex, my son and his mother lived there, and to the right was a vacant building. I'm sorry, a vacant apartment. And he allegedly, I guess he sent the drugs. He wanted to send it to the vacant apartment because he knew it was vacant, and he knew that the person that lived there previously moved out of state. So the day before it all happened, I'm over there visiting my son and his mom, and actually they were in transition to move back to my house, because we had split up for about 8.5 months. And so I saw the police go by, but I just thought they were patrolling the area. I didn't think anything about it. And then the next day, I'm over there again, just kind of visiting and kind of getting some things together. And so this package gets delivered, and I'm like, yeah, did you order something? She was like, no. So I looked, and it was in her name. And she said, did you get me something? I'm like, no. She said, I didn't order anything. So I never physically touched the box. I never opened it, I never touched it. I looked at the box. It was on the porch. And then before you knew it, it was like the A-team, man. They just swooped. They came out of everywhere. They came around a corner in SUVs, and there was some undercover cars on the street. And I had been under surveillance for 24 hours, and I didn't even know it. And so because they saw my car in the driveway the day before when the police went by. So they told me, hey, Chris, come here. We want to talk to you. Empty your pockets. I had 2 cell phones and like $80 in cash. And so I'm like, what's going on? He said, come on, don't play games with me. You know what's going on. You know why we're here. And I'm like, no, really, I don't. And then so he was like, you know anything about that box right there? I said, no, I looked at the box. We don't know. We didn't order anything. I didn't, there's drugs in that box. I'm like, what? And he said, so what was bad, he said, come on, don't play games with me. You know, you're very well respected in this community. You're highly influential in this community because of just my training. I train all the pro athletes that live in my town. I had like 5 or 6 high schools I was training. So I'm pretty popular in my town. And so I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. So he was like, don't play games with me. You're gonna ruin a lot of lives when this hits the media. And so they grabbed my son's mom, took her to the side, and asked her if I was a drug dealer. And she was like, no. The guy works 80, 90 hours a week. No. And she said, well, do you know what's in that box? And she was like, no, we don't. We have no idea what's in that box because I didn't order anything. He didn't order anything. And so They pulled us together and they said, well, so you're telling me, Chris, it's not your box. You don't know anything about that box. I said, no, I don't, that's not mine. I don't know. I don't understand. You know, it's not mine. And he said, well, ma'am, you're saying it's not yours, but it's in your name. And so I get it from their perspective. It looks like a cover up, put it in a woman's name. And he said, so I put it to, he said, so we're just going to make this easy. You know, it's very simple. Somebody's going down for this box. Chris, if you're saying it's not yours, there's no trace to you to this box at the moment. So, ma'am, that means you're going down for it because it's in your name. And I said, what do you mean going down for it? You're going to arrest her over something that she has nothing to do with? But you said you don't. I said, I don't. He said, well, she has to go down for the box. I said, then it's mine. He said, what do you mean it's yours? I said, it's my box then. I said, if I say it's my box, does she get off? And he was like, if you're agreeing that this is yours, then we can't charge her. I said, then it's mine. So you're saying that you're claiming this box, these drugs. I said, absolutely, they're mine. I said, if she's not going to get in trouble, then it's mine. He said, no. Are you admitting that? I said, it's mine. Yep, it's mine, sir. It's mine. So they ended up taking me down to the police station, and the police officer, you know, he had me in an interview room, and he was like, so where did it come from? Is it be in your best interest to tell us who sent it, because it'll help you out. Other than that, you're in a lot of trouble. I said, I don't know. He said, what do you mean you don't know? I said, I don't know. So what do you mean you don't know? Okay, I get it. You don't want to tell the person who you know, your connection, but this is going to help you out. So who sent the package? I said, I don't know. I have no idea. But you said the package is yours. I did say it was mine, but I don't know who sent it, man. I don't know. So he walked out of the room. He came back in. He said, you know, there's something really fishy about the story. He said, I don't know. He said, I'm going to try to get you out of here on a signature. And you're going to have to get a good lawyer and do some explaining. He said, let me talk to my boss. Went, talked to his boss. His boss said, absolutely not. He's not getting out on a signature. He's a public figure booking. So he came back in the room, and the officer was like, I'm sorry, dude. Our narcotics agent, he said, I'm sorry, dude. I got to book you. I said, well, what does that mean? Because I'd never been in trouble in my life. I mean, that was the first time I ever had handcuffs on me. I was traumatized. So he was like, we have to process you in the jail. I said, okay. He said, but the media is going to find out in an hour. And I was like, oh, that's bad. That's so bad. That's so bad. I know. Unfortunately, man, this is how it has to go down. So in that process of me, I bonded myself out about 8 hours later. Through the whole process, I was in a holding cell, and let me tell you, man, I was traumatized. I looked at that toilet, was like, I ain't even gonna pee in this thing. I don't want nothing to do with this place. And so I'm like, I can't live in here, man. This is not. No, I was sick to my stomach. So anyway, I get out at like 12:30 in the morning. Had to go to court at 8 o'clock. Didn't have a lawyer because I've never been in trouble, so I never needed a lawyer. And so I go to court the next day. A couple hours later. And it's mayhem. There's people there like crazy. People know I'm coming. The people are, in the court peeking out doors and windows, looking at me. And they bumped my court time up because they didn't want the media to show up and make it, much bigger than what it was. So they got me in and out. And at this point, I still don't have a lawyer. And so the community crushed my soul. I mean, they beat me up. Yeah, I knew there had to be something up with that guy. No one is that successful running 2 gyms, and he's a menace to our community. They need to make an example out of him. He works with kids. He's in our school system. They need to put him underneath the jail. I hope they give him the max. And it just got really bad. I got tore up really bad by the media. I mean, by the community. It was just a lot of hate mail, a lot of just really bad stuff about my character and things like that. And I was okay with that because, I mean, if you read an article, if this is what was perceived, I had to give them the benefit of the doubt, even though it wasn't true. They didn't know, but I am around their kids. So I was able to handle that part of it. The part of it that I struggled with was my daughter. My daughter started getting bullied in school. People were mocking her because everyone knows that I train all the athletes. I train, like I said, I was very popular in my town. So, they were, mocking her. That's why you drive that car, and that's why you go to this school, and then, telling her, we're going to make sure your dad never gets out of jail. We're going to send drugs to your house. And so the way they were bullying her is on your iPhone, there's an app you can get where you can pay a couple bucks and get a phone number. And the phone numbers are non-traceable. And so it's through an app where if I was to get the number, I can call you, I can text you, you can text me back, but you can't call me back. So she was just getting so many text messages. We're going to put drugs on your porch. We're going to plant drugs in your car. There's times that I'd be in the bed, sleep, and I would hear her run up the steps, darting for the front door. And I would jump up, like, what's the matter? What's the matter? Someone just called me and said they put drugs on our front door, Daddy. And I'm like, okay. No one's going to put drugs on our front door, baby. Don't worry about that. And so it was literally whacking my daughter out. Like, she was losing her mind. And she got real bitter and angry at me. She said, why don't you just tell the truth? Why don't you just tell the police that it's not yours? I said, it's too late. I already said it was mine. And the person that was actually responsible for it, he even came to me and said, dude, I am so sorry for what I did cause your life, man. He said, listen, I'm more than willing right now to go to the police and say it was mine, man. I just feel terrible. I said, man, they're not going to believe you. They're going to think you're trying to cover up for me. I got to eat it. And so my daughter continues to just, be angry, and she just couldn't understand why I couldn't tell the truth about it. And so a couple more weeks went by, and her and I were just bucking heads, and she was just angry. You're ruining our life. You're ruining your life. What if you go to prison? What am I going to do? And what about us? And just, it was just a lot, to the point where she was literally going insane. And so I have a rule at my house. On the weekends, she would often go to her mother's house or her grandmother's, but on the weekends, before she would leave, she had to make sure her laundry was done, or I wouldn't let her leave until her laundry was done. If she stayed home for the weekend, her laundry had to be done on Sunday by 6. So I came home on Friday, and this time everything's falling apart. My gyms are falling apart. People are leaving. I lost all my schools. I lost so many clients. I'm just like, okay, we got to figure something out here. And so I came home, walked through, just went in the laundry room to put a load of clothes in the wash. Her stuff was all in the laundry room. So I'm thinking, what in the world? So I waited for about 45 minutes for her to come home. I thought she was at Starbucks or at Target or something. And I called her. I said, hey. She was like, yes, Dad. I said, well, what are you doing? I'm at Grandma's. Well, you got laundry here. And she was like, I'll do it Sunday. I said, no. You need to come home. You know the rules, get your laundry done, and then you can go back to your grandma's. I don't want to come there. I'm not comfortable there. People are threatening to send drugs there. I can't sleep. I'm just not coming back there this weekend. I said, no, you're going to come back here and do this laundry. And she was like, I'll do it Sunday. I said, no, you got 15 minutes to get here, get this laundry done. I hung up. 20 minutes goes by. She still didn't show up. I called her. What are you doing? I'm not coming, Dad. I said, okay, I'll tell you what. Since you're telling me you're not coming, I'm getting ready to come get your car, and you're grounded. It's just simple as that. Rules are rules. And so she's like, I hate you. And she was just so angry. And she hung up. I'm like, what, it is, what am I going to, she's still doing her laundry. It don't matter. And so she went to Rite Aid. She got in her car, left, went to Rite Aid. She's like, prior to that, she'd been saying little hints like, I don't even want to live anymore. I hate my life, and just different things. So she went to Rite Aid, bought a bottle of extra strength Tylenol, went back to her grandma's house, went in the bathroom, ran some bath water, turned the music up, and closed the door. Her grandpa just happened to come home from work. He came home from work and had to use the restroom, knocked on the door, didn't hear anything, went downstairs for a second, kind of pondered a little bit, said, hey, how long has she been in the bathroom? She's been up there for a while. Well, when did she start taking baths? Because she takes showers. She don't take a bath. That's a good point. So went back upstairs, knocked on the door, still didn't hear anything, cracked the door open. He didn't want to walk in on her, but he wanted to just send his voice to the door. But when he peeked through, her hands was dripped over the bathtub. She was unresponsive and knocked out because she took 30 extra strength Tylenol. So they rushed her to the local hospital. And from there, there was nothing they could do for her. So they had to send her to children. She was in the ICU, and child services ate me alive. This is your fault. You're a horrible father. Look what you've caused. Now your daughter is in the ICU. We have no idea what's going to happen to her. And I would try to visit her, and they always had security watching me like I was just this bad guy. And it just crushed me so bad. So one of the visits, I left the hospital. I came home, and right as I pulled in my driveway, my buddy called me, really good friend of mine. He was the guy that was responsible for my YouTube channel. And he called, he said, dude, how's your daughter? I said, she's fighting. He was like, well, I got some bad news. I said, well, what's that? I said, can't be worse than what I'm already dealing with. He said, no, but unfortunately, I can't do your YouTube videos anymore because of your situation. I can't be affiliated with you. And I was like, wow. Okay. All right, man. Thank you. All right. I understand. So I hung up. Now, kids in the hospital. I didn't know how to film, edit, anything. And I'm just like, just numb at this point, numb. So I got up the next day, I looked at my bank account, and I've been saving money. I had like $20,000 saved up. And, and what I did is I got up, I got dressed, I went and I bought a whole production. I didn't know how to film, edit, nothing. The only thing I knew how to do was turn power on the camera. No knowledge, no experience whatsoever. I walked in the house with these boxes. My son's mom is looking at me like her head is doing this as I'm walking in a box. She said, what is this? I said, equipment. She said, what do you mean equipment? I said, filming equipment. I'm confused. You're out on bond. Your daughter's in the hospital, and you walk in here with, she grabbed a receipt, $18,000, Chris? Are you serious? Livid, lost her mind. That's the most irresponsible thing. You don't even know if you're going to prison or not. And she's just, what are we going to do? And that, she was just livid. So anyway, I just kind of took it on the chin, came downstairs. I got on the phone. I called a guy. I said, listen, man, he's a local director. I said, I don't know how to use my equipment. Can you please put some fillers out and see if anyone is willing to come to my house a couple days a week and teach me how to use this? I'll pay him to do it. And so he put some fillers out. A guy said he would come over. He came over for every day. He came over two times a week for 3 months, taught me how to use the software. Now, here's the deal. My daughter's out of the hospital, hates my guts. The community is crushing me. My gyms are falling apart. My life is in complete shambles. And now I'm just sitting in my man cave, just broken, like just a broken man with just, my family's about to leave. Everybody just, my friends turned their back on me. Nobody was really there. And so the only person that could have ever pulled me out of this slump or gave me any tough love, any form of like, you can overcome this, was my uncle, but he was dead. And that's when the guilt just hit me. Like, I just ruined my uncle's dream. Like, everything that he said I would become as a trainer, like, I just ruined it. Like, so guilt just overwhelmed me. So I'm sitting there for like a couple hours, and I'm actually crying at this point. And I'm just like, what, my life, man? Like, what happened? Like, what happened? This is crazy to me. And so I just had this thought come across my mind to think of every movie that I've ever watched from the time I was a child up until my adulthood that's ever motivated me, that's ever gave me any hope, any faith, made me work hard, made me dream. And I started visualizing stuff like when I was a kid, because when I was younger, I was molested twice before I was the age of 6. And so my mother, I didn't have a father growing up. My mother, she was a prostitute. Like, she was gone for like days. So I had to take care of my sisters. And so we would just watch movies all the time to keep them distracted. And so I started thinking of all these different movies. And if you can see, this is my man cave. There's about 30 movie posters all around here. I needed to surround myself with energy, the things that gave me hope, the things that made me believe, the things that made me feel like I can accomplish anything I ever wanted to accomplish. And so what I did right before that is I looked at my account before I purchased them. I had like $2,200 in my account. So I ordered $1,700 worth of movie posters. And so all of a sudden they started arriving, and my son's mom was like,
what have you done?
what's going on? Like, what is this? I said, movie posters. Why? She got the receipt. $1,700? You know what? You're sick. There's something wrong with you. I said, I know. I understand that. And so that's what all these posters represent. So what happened was I just tried to block everybody out, man. I was already on the island by myself. So what I did is I leaned towards my posters. I have a poster to the left here of Gandhi. And I really leaned on that poster because that movie was so powerful to me, how Gandhi walked in so much love despite all of the criticism and all the backlash and all the persecution and all the judgment that he faced. And I needed to take some of his character at this point in my life because I couldn't afford to act out of emotion, because at this point I'd already got sentenced to 3 years probation, but I was facing 3 years in prison if I got in trouble again. And so I really had to focus on walking in love and just keeping my eyes forward and focused on goals and not acting out of emotion. So I had to turn a cheek. And then my favorite poster, which is right behind me, I set it there because it's over my back. And I got so tired of like looking over my shoulder. I just wanted something over my shoulder to protect me. So I put my favorite movie, which is Kung Fu Panda. And what was so powerful about that movie to me was, in that movie, that veil, that piece of paper, everything was about that paper, and it was supposed to be that the know-all, the answers to everything, to life more abundantly, to whatever life you needed for life. That paper represented it. But when they finally, opened it, it was nothing there. And what was so powerful is the little wizard said that, it represents whatever you wanted it to be, and that just like was so epic to me. So what I did at this point was, I wrote a letter to myself, and I called the letter my 2016. I wrote it the end of December 2015. But before I tell you that, at this point, I know how to use my cameras. I took my little son. I didn't have any friends. So I looked at little Chris. He was 2. I said, "You want to go to the gym with Daddy?" And he was like, "Yeah." So he went to my gym, and I filmed him training. I filmed me training him, set cameras up all over the gym, and I came back, sat in this very chair, and I started editing it. I was excited. I edited the whole thing myself, and I threw it up on YouTube, and then I wrote this letter. And in this letter, I took every area of my life, every detail of my life, and I put in the letter what I wanted my life to be. Because what I was dealing with physically was so painful. The abandonment, the rejection, the betrayal, all of the hate, the guilt I was dealing with my uncle, my family's falling apart. At this point, my account's in the negative. My account was in the negative for like 3 months. So you can imagine how she went off about that. My account was in the negative. Again, rock bottom, just complete emptiness. But in this letter, at the part of the letter that was about my career, I put that through social media, YouTube, or Instagram, I will partner with a company and do great things. Because prior to me getting in trouble, I was already getting endorsements. So I always felt like someone is going to notice me because I was getting the attention already on my YouTube channel. So I put on there that I will partner with a company and do great things. Now, while I'm writing this letter, Carl is in Santa Monica or in California out on his outdoor turf, running around, just exercising. He has this thought, I wonder what kind of workouts we could do outside on turf. Goes in the house, YouTube's workouts on turf. The same video, the first and only video I ever filmed and created was a video he saw on YouTube. So he saw the video, it moved on him. He told me it moved him to see me working with my son, but then he looked me up and he found out I had a felony, I had a drug charge. So what he did is he just said, let's just keep an eye on him. Let's go look for a trainer. I want to create an outdoor training program. In the meantime, I'm looking at this letter, and all there is a bunch of words. Now, me being a person I am, everything that I do has to have some kind of purpose to it, because I'm a trainer, I'm an influencer, I'm a motivator. So my words mean something to me, especially what I say to other people. But to me, these were just words. I had to give these words an identity. I had to give it a heartbeat. So what I did is I created an emotion every time I would read the letter. Sometimes I would cry. Sometimes I would laugh. Sometimes I would read it very humbly and like I got a second chance at my life. But I needed to give it an emotion so it was real. And so I would practice this morning, noon, and night. Every morning, every time I got down or got depressed, and every time I went to bed because I wanted to sleep with it on my brain. And I would just celebrate this letter like it was real. Before you knew it, all of a sudden I started attracting things in my life that reflected that letter. And everything in my physical life started slowly disappearing. Then I started getting more clients. People started joining my gym again. And all this was in the letter. I'm in my consultations asking people, I got a drug charge, right? And then I got another football team. I'm thinking, how did I get a football team with a felony? And so knowing they're going to do a background check. So 5 months later, after continuous practicing, Beachbody called. And when they called, Heather said, we've been watching you for a while. Before we turn you into a superstar, is there anything we should know about your background? I said, yes. I told her exactly what happened. And she said, let me call Carl. I'll call you right back. They already knew what happened. They wanted to see if I would be honest. So she called me back a minute and a half later, said, Carl said he believes in giving people second chances. As long as it's behind you, he wants to move forward. So I ended up going to California. And here's the cool thing. the program was never called Shift Shop. It was called OCD, which meant Outdoors with Chris Downing. And so we're out testing this program outside. We got about 2 workouts done, and the workout is awesome, but we having problems with a syncing device outside. We couldn't get around the distractions of sirens and dogs barking and just noises that was out of our control. And because of the nature and the way I train, I like to engage. I like to talk to you. I like to be in the moment with you. I like to let you know that I'm right here with you, no matter what your fitness level is. I see you. I believe in you. I'm going to do everything in my power to bring out the best in you. That was just too hard to convey with all the distractions. So Carl said, okay, let's scratch that idea for now. Let's take it back indoors, make it a 21-day program, and we'll figure the rest out later. So now we don't have a name, and we're testing a program. And, you know, at this point, I have this urge in my soul to make sure Carl never regrets this decision. And I'm listening to Eminem, Lose Yourself every day on my way to Beachbody. You got one shot, one opportunity, because I knew that like there could be potential backlash from you guys, from his colleagues, to bring a felon, a drug dealer into a company that's not known for that. Like, everybody has these blue collar backgrounds. These trainers come from these great their story is not like that. I'm like the runt. And so I knew that I never wanted him to regret that decision. So I when we got together to come up with our audience for the Shift Shop, they said, so what do you want the target audience to be? I said, everybody. So what do you mean everybody? You have an athletic background. No, the person that needs to lose 100 pounds to the person who's extremely fit. I got one shot at this, one opportunity. We need to make this for everybody. The modifier, no impact. We need to make sure this is doable for everybody, because I knew in my spirit and in my soul that this was going to be way bigger than fitness. Like, I just needed a platform just to pour out my love on people. And it wasn't even so much about the exercise. So anyway, to make a long story short, we're going through the next couple months. Program is coming together. Awesome. We got awesome results with the test groups. Still don't have a name. So the day before we were supposed to have our name submitted, Carl said, I got a name, Shift Shop. I'm like, Shift Shop? So Jack said, I don't think Chris likes it. He said, Carl said, well, if Chris don't like it, we got a problem, because he has to like it. So he said, meet with me tomorrow. So the next day we met in Carl's office. He said, you don't like Shift Shop, do you? I said, I just don't understand it. Like, we had tried Power Rise, Level Up, iRamp, all these different names, and they just kept getting kicked out by legal for various reasons. He said, let me explain to you why I think Shift Shop is the name. I was driving down La Brea Avenue, and I saw a bunch of shops. And he said, and I just start thinking about people driving their car to this shop. You open the garage door, the car goes in, the car gets broken completely down. It gets patched up. It gets sanded. It gets painted. The person comes in 3 weeks or a month. The garage door open. They have a brand new reinvented car. That's what you do to people. You break them down. You speak life into them. You love on them. You make them better. You give them confidence, and then they get in shape, and then you send them off in the world. I was like, sold. And so I like it. Okay, I like it. And so he said, and the shifting part is we shift 10 minutes each additional week as we go up that ramp. So we get back into rehearsals and trying a program. I'm married to Shift Shop now. I'm saying Shift Shop. People in the company is like, Shift Shop? But I'm shift shopping. And all of a sudden I had a moment. And the moment was the most epic moment that changed my life forever. I said, no. That shift is not the extra 10 minutes, not just the extra 10 minutes. That shift represented that letter that I wrote to myself. At my most broken state, my most hurt state, my empty state, abandonment, rejection, my character, my record busted up. I wrote that letter to myself. I made a shift in my mind to think that I can confess a letter emotionally every day to change my life. I said, no, this is much bigger than additional 10 minutes. So what I did is I took all my hurt, all my pain, all my disappointment, all my guilt, all the people that ever doubted me. I took all those emotions and I poured it into the program and made it a personal development workout program. So all the things I'm saying in that workout is things I dealt with. That's why people are feeling it so much. And so that's what created Shift Shop.
Seriously, dude. Oh my gosh.
Sorry it took so long.
No, I'm sitting here like, don't do the ugly cry. Don't do the ugly cry. We're recording. Oh, yeah. You know, it's so funny because I wrote down here, why does a fitness program like this have the potential to change a life? And I think you just said everything, you know, like it's so much more than just fitness. It's personal development wrapped up in a fitness program.
Yeah, I think the one part that was really, when I really was like, you know what, this needs to be personal development workout program. It's because when I really was open about all the things I dealt with, I knew that by me being extra motivating, extra engaging, really connecting with each person, from the person need to lose the most weight to the person who's extremely fit. I just never wanted anybody to ever feel the way I felt. Like I would never want a human being, because people commit suicide over being in that state. You know what I mean? I just said, you know what? I got one chance at this. I'm about to pour my whole soul into this and just motivate anybody I can, man. And that's where it all came from. And so
you've said multiple times in our groups, like if one person feels left behind, then we all fail.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Because it goes back to, like, you know, I could have been that one person. Like I was on an island by myself, and I always thought about that state. Like, man, if something happened to me, like everybody lose. My kids lose, my family, everybody lose. So I've always had that mindset. If one person feels like they failed, and we all lose, because there's strength in numbers. And my mission in life was to empower, love, and inspire people. And I mean, that means everybody. And I just knew that from the person who was the underdog, I just don't believe in leaving people behind for that various reason of, you never know what they're capable of being in that state of mind. So we can't leave them. We got to go get them. Yeah.
You know, I would say, like, so I've been a coach now for 3 years, and I would say that a lot of times when people start a program, they kind of pick and choose what parts they're going to follow, like whether they're going to be all in or not. And I think, you know, we had some of that in the test group too. Like after round 1, like some people kind of got loosey-goosey. Yeah. And I loved the talk that you brought to us about the alignment with your physical choices and kind of the vision for your life. Would you share that with our team real quick?
So what was that again?
Well, you talked to us, remember, in between round 1 and round 2, people started to get really loose on their food, and really kind of like they lost ownership over the program or over what they were doing. You kind of pulled back a little bit, and you talked to them about like how there's a lot, like when you are in alignment with your physical choices and the vision for your life, there's power there. Like that's when you like can move to the next level. But if you're not in alignment, like your physical choices don't line up with what you want for your life, then that translates into other areas and other relationships in our life.
Yeah. So what I meant by that I love how you just put that. So let me put it in a simple term. So say like I'm really in this program and I'm sticking to the nutrition plan and the workouts. And it's so vital that, like, all along, while I'm in this state of vulnerability, that my vision is on what I want to be, not where I'm at right now, but where am I going? Where, especially if I'm trying to get a glimpse of my potential and being the best that I can absolutely be. So anytime you break that connection, you open yourself up to allow other people's insecurities to get on you. What I mean by that is, say you're surrounded around about a person who gave up on their dreams, or you know, they didn't have the courage to really push. You know, they can speak their insecurities on your life to make you question yourself. And so, like, it's so vital that, like, your mind is engaged, but you're also living the same thing you see in your vision practically, because that alignment is power. And when you connect the two, it gives you more discipline. It gives you more insight on who you really are. And all along, as you're traveling up that ladder to give birth to your best self, the cool thing is you're getting benefits all along the way. And so those benefits, those extra perks, of getting in better shape, losing weight. All of a sudden, after 12 days, people getting abs. You're getting stronger. You're feeling better. That's confidence. That's your euphoric, your greatness within you saying, keep going, keep going. We're almost there. I just need a couple more weeks of you staying like this so you can release me to the world and I can lead you to all the love you want, all the joy you want, all the success you want, all the peace you want, because I'm your purpose. Anything that you want to accomplish, it has to come through me, but you got to be diligent in this state of mind. Once you manifest me to the world, there's just no limit to what you can accomplish because you're going to see life through different lenses and you've officially reinvented yourself. So it's
it's powerful. And you were talking about how, like, you know, people will self-medicate themselves or be like having to deal with depression or all these other issues in their life because there's a disconnect between, you know, their choices, their physical choices, and the vision that they want for their life. And when that happens, like, you can't fully express love to the world. You can't fully express your genuine best self to the people around you because you're frustrated.
Exactly. Yeah, and oftentimes it's because you're not living in your purpose. Like, I was just telling my cousin the other day, he was just like, dude, like, you're just so regimented on what you believe. How did you get like that? I said, because I'm afraid. Like, I'm in a place right now where I can't afford to fall off. If I disconnect myself from my purpose at any way, I'm opening up the door to more depression, more anxiety. You allow those things to stick on your life because you're living life like blindly. You just living. You're allowing life to slap you around. But when you got a clear glimpse of your purpose and what you was created to be, oh my gosh, all you got to do is look at that, and all the choices that line up with that vision is right there. You have to stick to that, or you're just going to open yourself up to just a world of problems.
Yeah. So, did you intentionally try to teach us a lesson with food?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want to let you know that, like,
you know, I felt like crap for 15 hours after that burger. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Probably most of the team doesn't even know what happened, but it was right after the first round. And you were like, oh, you guys work so hard. You can eat whatever you want this weekend, right?
Yeah. It's powerful because look, whenever you put somebody on a strict diet, right, and you training, people just our greedy self, our selfish self, we always feel like somebody is taking something from us. The shift shop is not about taking anything from you. It's about showing you, giving you something, giving you a glimpse of your potential. So what I did is, like, I know there's people in there like, I just can't wait to have this pizza. I can't wait to have this burger. I can't wait to have this. I can't wait to have that. So they build anxiety and anticipation for it. So I'm like, you know what? Let me prove to you that you really don't need it. Go have it. Go have it. And mostly everybody got sick. And I was like, gotcha. when they see for themselves, like, oh my gosh, I feel like crap, and then you had to go into the workout the next day with that in your system. You're like, this wasn't even worth it, man. I'm struggling today, and just, you know, it's like, here, go have it.
Yeah, whole new perspective on food for sure. And you also, there was one other thing I wanted to touch on before we get into some nitty gritty about the program real quick for those who haven't obviously been through what we've been through, but you talked about, like, your old self showing up and how not to be surprised or caught off guard. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, preach. That's so brilliant. So yeah.
So you know, like the cartoons when we were younger, and it's like the person here, and it's got the devil here and the angel here. Like, that's real. To me, that's real. And so, like, in the beginning of the program, everybody was like in the honeymoon stage. Weight's falling off quick. Everybody's feeling good. Life is good. Everyone's flowing. And I'm thinking, y'all getting ready to experience something. So, like, as they're going, and it actually started happening towards the second round, all of a sudden, their old nature, the residue, hey, listen to me, the residue of their old nature started surfacing, started making them question themselves. All of a sudden, they start getting desires for things that they let go of and different things like that. And the battle is I'm telling you right now, I don't believe in competition with other people. It's just something I just don't believe in. I don't think it exists. I think it's foolishness when people do it. And that's why I try to stress, especially the people that I love and I'm closest to, like, listen, your competition is not anybody else. Your competition is yourself, the old you versus the new you. That's an everyday battle. That's an everyday battle that you are going to fight whether you're conscious of it or not. And if you're not conscious of it, that's why you're dealing with depression, anxiety, and feeling defeated and worry, because inside the old you is kicking the new you's butt, or the new you want to be. But when you get a glimpse of what you was really created for, your purpose, your most powerful self, they're going to war against each other. Whoever you feed the most is who's going to have dominion and power over your life. Is that serious? So you say, well, how do you feed it? Okay, you feed it by what you say, what you see, and what you listen to. You hear what I said? What you say, what you see, and what you listen to, because those are the gateways to your soul. And whatever you confess out your mouth, you're going to either feed this one or this one. So you got to cautiously watch who you feed. You see what I'm saying? So if you're around a person that got the same demons, I don't want to say demons, but the same struggles you have, if the bad side of you is bickering with the bad side of them, they just clashing. It has nothing to do with you and the person. It's the ugly in you and the ugly in them. So the only way to get rid of the ugly is you gotta starve them. How do you starve them? By love, empowerment, and inspiration, and believing in yourself, getting a glimpse of your potential, and living your life every day to be the absolute best you can be, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, towards your spouse, towards your kids, towards your mate, towards your family. You gotta you gotta starve that bad old self completely out to get rid of it. You gotta choke them out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's so powerful, because like I just feel like this program gives you the opportunity to do all that. They're all connected, like your mental, your physical, your spiritual, and when you get all those moving in the same direction, it's just life changing, because you every single day, you're right, you're going to show up and it's you versus you, whether you realize it or not. And if you don't realize it, you're probably in a really bad space, you know. You know, that also brings me, I had one coach send me this question in advance. She's like, how can, she's a trainer, by the way. So this question comes from a trainer, and she's got 20 years in experience training people. And she's like, how can my story be compelling with Shift Shop if I don't have a ton of weight to lose? And I know you're going to have a great answer for that.
How can it be compelling in Shift Shop if she don't have a ton of weight to lose?
Yeah, if hers isn't a weight loss transformation, how is her story compelling to the world?
Her story is compelling because, first of all, the Shift Shop really isn't about the physical. It's not about the weight. Now, you've been a trainer for 20 years. You have a genius. You have a talent. But what else is inside of you? What dreams have you aborted up until this point, mentally or spiritually? Are you giving up on? You can't say you haven't dreamt, because we all had dreams growing up. We always wanted to be a doctor. We always wanted to be lawyers. What thoughts have crossed your mind of endeavors for you to step out into that you just kind of dismissed? So it's compelling because although you may not have a lot of weight to lose, your spiritual self, like the most powerful you, needs to manifest itself so you can really walk in your genius. Maybe there's just things that you're supposed to do in addition to training, and the Shift Shop is gonna really work on you mentally to have the courage to take a leap of faith and go for it. So again, like the physical stuff is just perks. That's just benefits of following the program and the nutrition plan. The real victory is when you look in the mirror and you love the reflection you see. You look in the mirror, you see your greatness, you see your potential, and then you go out and you start empowering lives and empowering the people around you. That's how you really know that you've arrived, that you're really in a good place.
What about that person who's brand new to fitness, like, and they're scared to death because they've been seeing some pretty extreme videos? What, like, can they do this?
Yeah, the program is for everybody. I mean, the modifiers. And so, like, you ask a person, like, that's like one of my favorite questions, because you see a person, they come in, they're terrified, right? They're terrified of what they seen. So that fear that they have didn't just come from the Shift Shop. That fear really originated for something that they've dealt with in the past, and it's just resurfacing. So I always tell my people, even you guys, what is fear? Fear is an illusion. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Like, you create fear. Have you ever like drove down the street and said, hey, look at fear, fear's walking? No, you can't see it. It's just something that you create. And when you create and connect with that thought mentally, all of a sudden you attract things to your life that's going to make you fear in the physical. So I just feel like, why would you question yourself? Like, that's your insecure self saying that it wants you to stay complacent. It wants you to stay the same. Well, all along, the opportunity presented you for a reason, because of that greatness in you, that your truest self, your best self needs it. It needs you to work through it so that it can manifest itself to the world, so you can finally not live a life of fear, but live a life of victory and live the life you was created to live. It's just, man, I'm telling you, getting in trouble and being in that pit, that's for me, I find victory in everything, man. Anytime those thoughts come of negativity, there's something behind that. Like, what is it? And what it is like, it's your greatness. It's your purpose behind that fear. You give into the fear, you stay complacent, you stay the same, you never grow. And then you just allowing insecurities and jealousy and envy and depression, anxiety to just rain on you. You just can't, you gotta stand up on the inside.
Yeah. So what do you think, like, I always talk to my coaches about, well, and to people like my challengers in general, is like, your story is personal, but it's not meant to be private. And I think you're an epitome of that. Yes, you're the epitome of that. Your story is personal, but it's not meant to be private. In other words, like, you've come and just like shared your heart. You shared, like, the most personal details of your life. And out of that comes immense blessing for the rest of us who are willing to, like, take our next steps. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like at the root of Shift Shop, like, there is purpose in not only us, like, loving ourselves first, but then, like, our responsibility is to then turn around and reach back and help someone else get out of the ditch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like our gifts are meant to be just for us.
Right. I always tell people that I was put on this earth. I wasn't put on this earth for me. I was put on this earth for somebody else. And so in saying that, like, I don't have a problem sharing my story, because look what it's created. What if I didn't tell it? See, it's those moments. Like, I had to make this shift when I wrote that letter, and it was real to me. And I brought it to the program, and some part of my story, maybe it was the depression, maybe it was the rejection, maybe it was the betrayal, maybe it was one of those things connected with each and every person that felt it. So what they have to do is write the letter to yourself. What do you really want for yourself? Nurture it, connect with it emotionally. And then when you manifest it, guess what? Now you have a story. Maybe it isn't what happened for me, but my story doesn't mean your story is any less than mine, because this is your journey. Like, we all have hurts, we all have pains, we all have a journey. It's just and our stories are different. But guess what? At the end of the story, we all meet at the same place. We all give birth to our purpose. We all give birth to our best self, and we all celebrate that. And we all use that mess, convert it to our message and share it with the world. Because guess what? There's millions of people that feel the exact same way that we feel. And I always tell my friends this. I mean, I said, dude, you got to get it together now, because somebody waiting on you, man. There's a person that needs your story. And the longer you play with this, they're dying, man. Like, you got to fix you right now, because someone needs your story. They need it to get them to the next level. And that, to me, that's just so powerful.
Yep. So as we prepare to go to Summit, what would you challenge our team to just be thinking of and sharing, on social media? Obviously, they did the Shift Shop preview today, but they can't do the full program until we get to Summit. But they can be sharing stuff now. So what would your challenge be to them, I guess, between now? I mean, we've got 3 weeks, man. We're going to have a celebration.
If God told me, I'm going to give you a microphone to speak to everybody in the world, Chris, you got 5 minutes. You know what I would tell everybody? I challenge everybody in this world to dream again. Dream again. I need you to really look internal. What have you given up on? What dreams have you aborted mentally, spiritually, emotionally? All the things about yourself that you don't like. Think about all of that stuff and why. Write this letter to yourself and write the letter for exactly what you want. Don't play it safe. Dream as big as possible. I double dare you to challenge your purpose. Your purpose lives inside of you, and it is the most powerful thing that you can ever imagine. I challenge you to challenge your purpose. Write that letter. Connect with those words emotionally. Challenge that purpose to manifest itself to you. Give you a glimpse of your potential. All the things that you could become if you believe. All the things that you can share with the world. You know what it is. I would ask everybody to do that. write that letter, and when you go in the shift shop, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that, man. And you can see for yourself. This is way bigger than me. Trust me. I'm not that good, man. I have a gift. That's it. The gift is much bigger than the person. I have flaws, man. I'm a human being, but my gift is full of passion, full of love, and the desire to bring out the best in everybody I get the opportunity to. So yeah.
You've got the biggest heart of like anyone I've ever met, and I'm so extremely grateful for your time. I'm so grateful for what you have done here. I'm grateful for how you have poured into the test group, because I feel like our buckets are overflowing and we are just like on fire for life.
Yeah, you guys are crazy. I love it. I love it.
It's been hard work. I'm not gonna lie. I might have like said a few swear words a few times about you in a couple of workouts, but you know, we're cool about that. Like
that. That's what it's about.
But no, seriously, it has been you're right, it's been personal development for my soul, and I'm so grateful. My family's grateful for that too.
It's time, man. It's time for us to live the life we was created to live. No more being beat up, man.
No more playing it safe. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, I think that's been the biggest revelation for us, is that we can all be more, we can all do more, and we can all love more. You know what I mean? Like there's just more of us to give to the world.
Absolutely. There's miracles around us every day, man. You jump, get in sync with it. You can be.
Yeah. So anyway, well, I want to respect your time greatly, and thank you so much for sharing from the heart, Chris. We can't even thank you enough.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, buddy. I'll see you in a minute.
See you soon.
Peace.
All right. Bye-bye.